The year is 2001. An exciting year in the world. Shrek had just been released for a mass audience, and going through the airport wasn't a 3-hour process. As you smile upon all the innovations, you realize you're lonely. How would you solve this in ancient times? Usually, one would go out to a bar and attempt to socialize with women. Today? It's not like that. The modern dating space has evolved into something very different, all due to the introduction of Tinder. There has been a major problem with the rise of online dating, and that's what I want to talk about today. Chapter 1. When one is behind a screen, one gains a sense of confidence and power, becoming less timid. Over the last couple of decades, people have become more attentive to the appearance of a person. This isn't because of any generational changes or an effect of the new ADHD era. It's more so because as dating is made easier, appearance has been made more important. For the vast majority of people, it's the first break of day someone may take in of other people. This has created a difficult atmosphere for people who rely on these dating apps, as not everyone meets the criteria of other people. Even when one is to receive the lucky match, studies show there is a mere 50% chance of receiving a text back.
All right, getting in. Now scrolling down, how many matches of those 33,702? I got over 1,000 matches. Now I just want to note, this data is based on 6 years. Of these 12 dates though, how many relationships? One relationship.
This causes users to constantly feel as if they are disliked or unattractive, leading to a major increase in anxiety and depression. This is all without touching the subject of ghosting. Ghosting refers to the situation in which someone is cut from all contact with a person with zero explanation. This can happen often when the real-life experience with someone doesn't match with the online experiences users had. Ghosting is psychologically draining for a person, making them feel as less of a human and doubting themselves in every aspect. This can over time damage a person's mental health, slowly chipping away at it. Chapter 2. All the terrible experiences of dating lead to one major thing: low self-esteem. This lack of confidence in basic human skills, features such as communication, appearance, and compatibility with other humans is the worst thing for one's mental health. A study by the University of North Texas finds that Tinder users have more mental health problems than people who don't use Tinder. This could be tied back to the constant rejection and self-doubt one must face in the online dating space. The worst part is apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge are aware of this fact, charging hundreds of dollars a year to be able to see the single person that swiped right on your profile. They do this and offer users a special super swipe so that maybe someone will notice them, or maybe sell users a quick launch to the top of people's pages so that maybe, just maybe, they can get a single match. These apps drain people for every last penny, charging their users for the basic function of human communication, and they are not sorry about it, with Tinder making $1.2 billion in 2019 before global isolation. Hey, if you find yourself enjoying this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Chapter 3. It's no debate that when a person is behind a smartphone screen, they may act considerably differently than how they would act in real life. This is carried over and multiplied when it comes to dating apps. On the internet, it's sometimes difficult to know who a person really is, and this can lead to people being harassed online, scammed by people who fake their identity, or plainly catfished. We're in an era where modern technology is rapidly advancing, an example being programs that enhance one's beauty. This is nothing new to the world, as makeup has existed before dating apps were even possible. With developing technologies like Facetune and Snapchat, these apps are learning to not only enhance, but fully change a person's features. When people meet up and are expecting something else, the situation isn't fun for either party. Tinder has seen the constant problem of harassment. This comes from both parties and all sides of the spectrum. In fact, over half of online dating users have said they find themselves receiving sexually explicit messages way too often, and a total of 3/4 of people believe that they are being lied to by other users to seem more desirable. To people who rely on dating programs, it can really demotivate them from finding a partner or even talking to the opposite sex. The problems this can lead to are pretty obvious and harmful to society. Chapter 4. Dating apps are a business that profit off repeating customers. These multi-million-dollar companies find no interest in helping you build true connections with your partner, instead promoting shallow and pleasure-oriented relationships. This can lead to a feeling of inadequacy. The overwhelming amount of choices can also lead to shallow, temporary connections with people. This helps create a habit of cycling through people no matter how perfect the connection feels. The pleasure people receive through release of dopamine, an effect of receiving new matches, can lead to powerful addictions. Even if one is not to have good luck, one can come to see themselves infinitely searching for a single match, obsessively awaiting a reply. All these factors not only create a terrible addiction leading users down a spiral of loneliness, not being able to keep a relationship, and a dreadful social anxiety, but it will also lead users to spend every last penny on this infinite cycle to boost people's chances of that tasteful hit of dopamine. As much as I would like to provide some good news, there isn't any. These apps are preying on addiction. These billion-dollar companies are discovering more ways to abuse your psychology, and no one seems to even notice. Dating apps are not the best way, if not the worst way, to build a deep connection with someone of romantic interest. Instead of helping build connections, they isolate and destroy people's ability to socialize without having a phone screen present. That is not to say it is impossible to find love, as there are hundreds of beautiful and wholesome stories of finding true love over a phone screen. However, these stories are few in a vast sea of billions. We can only hope this problem in society does not get worse, as we can be sure it is not going away anytime soon. Did you enjoy the video? If you did, why not subscribe to the channel? You will be introduced to plenty of new content like this.